it's not been a very great period to be getting hired, right? So I'm sure you would have your own fair share of challenges there.
Yeah.
For our future students, can you
Mhm.
probably highlight some of the challenges and maybe some advice you'd like to give them on what they could
Mhm.
do, to
Sure,
navigate?
sure. So I think with the MBA, like before this, I had an experience of hiring in terms of an engineering graduate, which was very different. In India, usually starts in the final year of engineering or maybe just
Yeah.
after the third year or something, and you have companies coming to you, and
Mm.
it is very different. You know what's happening. You have people supporting you everywhere. There's a stark contrast to this to a business school. What I realized that hiring here does not start in, say, your term three or towards the end of your graduation. It starts on day one, the minute you enter the college.
Knowledge.
You have to, start talking to people, start building connections in a way that they should turn into probably an interview or a job opportunity. And unfortunately, it took me a lot longer than day one to realize this and put that in action. So I was very much of the mindset that, okay, I will understand, I will learn, I will prepare myself, and then I
Mm.
will put myself out there that, okay, now I know these things, now you can hire me.
Mm.
But unfortunately, that kind of cost me some time in terms of networking and reaching out to people.
Mm.
So I think one of the biggest advice that I would give to anyone who wants to move anywhere outside India for especially a business school would be build your network and start as soon as possible. The minute you say here which school you're going to be in, reach out to the alumni, reach out to as many people as you can find, even in the
Mm.
city. Maybe there's someone your relatives know, and just
Mm.
talk to them, have conversations, introduce yourself.
Mm.
And another key aspect of networking, what I realized while being here, it's very difficult to keep in touch, especially with
Mm.
someone you don't know. It's
Mm.
easy to get the first contact out there and just say hi, hello, can we have a first coffee chat and introduce, and then
Mm.
eventually the connection just dies down. And then somewhere you feel guilty to reach out to them again to ask for something. But and unfortunately, the reality is here you are the one who needs something. You can't
Mm.
exactly give anything in return.
Mm.
So sometimes you have to be a bit selfish with that respect. 80% you will not hear back. But that 20% which you will hear back might actually turn out to be, a great
Something.
connection, can turn out to be at least a learning opportunity, if not a job.
Not a job.
Um,
True.
and it took me about 6 to 8 months to, have this entire structure figured out.
Mm.
But if someone has it from day one, it's going to work wonders for them. So networking would be my best advice to anyone who wants to come out here.
True.
And second, specifically for the European market, uh, most important things are languages. So
Mm.
if you have the time, start learning the language that the country you're going to be in. If possible, learn multiple of them, because here people usually speak 3 to 4 European languages. I know it's not easy,
Mm.
but even if you know one language, it increases your chances of getting hired in that specific market, because they do
Mm.
prefer people who can talk in their own town, who can understand their culture, because that's how usually business gets done here.
Mm.
It's more about the culture and the people than the work itself.
Mm.
So knowing the language definitely helps. Knowing the
Helps.
country, knowing the culture definitely helps. Um, then I guess the next thing would be to not wait till you feel you are ready for the role. And I see this because when I first started applying to jobs, we had this tool that Bocconi had provided us, in which we could compare our CV with, say, the job description. It would
Mm.
essentially do a matching of keywords from the job description and see if we have that in our CV, and it would give us a percentage.
Mm.
So I used to make it a point to apply to a job only if the matching was 80% or above. Uh,
Okay.
and because of this, what happened was there were many opportunities coming on the university job board that I ignored, because I thought, okay, this is not in my purview, okay, this doesn't match my role, and I just let it go. But now that I look back at it, if I would have applied, would at least give me an opportunity to sit for an interview,
Yeah.
because jobs coming in through the university board have a higher probability of converting into an interview than, say, you reaching out through a company's job board or you reaching out through a connection. So even if you don't actually get the job, facing the interview is something which helps you be in practice a lot, especially for case interviews for consulting. Even Amazon does case interviews now, so it's great practice that way. So the third advice would be apply to everything that you see in front of you, because in today's hiring day and age, ATS is the biggest thing you have to face, and I have faced it multiple times. So it's hard to go past the resume clearing stage. So that's another thing. And of course, in general, I think in my experience, I had started applying from internships, and I was maintaining a log and everything of, say, what status I am with each company, and there were multiple rejections. And as I said, ATS was the stage where I was getting rejected the most. So ATS is basically the software that, checks your resume for the position that the company has open. And unfortunately, this happens a lot, that it has some specific inputs about what kind of keywords should be there in your resume, and it's impossible for us to tailor it completely to the acceptance criteria. But yeah, if it happens, if it does go past it, then comes the test. So it's basically like a logical reasoning and verbal reasoning kind of a test, and nowadays they are getting very creative with it. So also keep on your toes, keep continuously practicing. Even if you don't have an interview coming up, there are lots of online resources available where you can practice for these tests as well as interviews. So keep doing that, because what I observed initially was I kept on applying with the resume, and then when I did get a few tests, I was not as prepared. And usually these tests come with a time limit, so you have to say give the test within the next 3 days or next 4 days, and you don't have enough time to actually study and get back to it with your ongoing MBA curriculum. So it's best to stay in practice continuously from day one. And in general about interviews, another of my advice would be practice for case interviews. Irrespective of whether you're applying to consulting or not, case interviews is something which, for me, it helped structure my thinking in a way, in a very logical way. It helped me build issue trees in my mind, which was not the pattern of thinking I was used to prior to my MBA. And this will not only help in case interviews, this will just help in general in everyday life post MBA, no matter which role you are in. Because if you are someone who is, solving a problem, doing business development or operations management, you will always have some issue in front of you that you need to sort in minutes, because that's expected out of you, or maybe guide a team or do something. So this helps us structure our thinking in a better way. And no matter what kind of interview we face, this is a skill that will genuinely help.
Definitely.
So again, there are a lot of online resources. For us, Case Coach was something that the university gave us a subscription for. But there are also various other online resources that can help you. So case interviews, definitely do practice as many as you can. It helps. So yeah, those are my 4 advices.